So I'm from Australia. My people are from Bundjalung, which is between our states of Queensland and New South Wales, so we're right on the border. We are coastal people and we go a bit inland. I have always wanted to be a lawyer. I didn't know exactly what area I wanted to practice in, and once I started working in a law firm, I kind of fell into this area. Like, it was something I was probably planning on doing later in life, but it came a lot earlier in my legal career than I was expecting, and I wouldn't change it. I love what I do, but just the inability of our people to get their message across and understood. Particularly in Australia, we have a problem where while a lot of our Indigenous people can speak English, it's not mainstream English. We have a term for it, it's called Aboriginal English, and we use terminology and words that are used in everyday English, but they have a different meaning, so it can be interpreted slightly differently. That's probably the biggest issue I see, is the communication. Because if you can get them talking, most of the time the Indigenous people and your government or your project developer can kind of come to some sort of agreement on how something can proceed. But it's when you're not understanding each other and you're giving each other different messages, people get frustrated and you end up in heated arguments. And that's when I realised, okay, I actually need to stay in this area. I'm needed here because I am able to bridge. I'm able to explain to the developers or the government what the real concerns are, and I'm able then to deliver the message that Indigenous people want delivered in a way that government understands and can appreciate the real and true impact of what they are proposing to do. So as Indigenous people, we have a very strong spiritual connection to the land, and we have our cultural heritage, which may be our stories or special places or special objects that connect us with Mother Earth. So they may include things of animals that may be totems, or trees that have special meanings. They could be areas where we've carried out special ceremonies, and all of these cultural heritage items help connect us with our culture, our traditions, and our laws that connect us with the earth. In my experience, some of the challenges that Indigenous people are facing in being able to maintain and protect these significant areas is that there perhaps a lack of understanding by non-Indigenous people of how connected Indigenous people are with their land and with these items, and not understanding that it may seem insignificant to remove a rock. It might seem insignificant to cut down a tree, but that tree is connected in story and in spirit to a group of people or an area, and when you remove it, it's like removing a spoke or part of a wheel on a bicycle. The bike then can't continue to roll because that key part is missing. So it has an impact on them to be able to continue to carry that out. For example, if you had a storyline that might be told about how the spirits pass once you have passed, pass on to the next life, and if you're going to build a road through that storyline, well, the spirits are going to get stuck on one side of the road because that road is impacting them. So therefore you're going to have these spirits that are just going to be around and then again disrupting the community. So it can be difficult if people do not understand or appreciate the connectedness between Indigenous people and their cultural heritage on the ground. I have found in my short time here and the first time at the Permanent Forum very interesting, very intense. I do feel that it's a platform in which Indigenous people should be using to get their issues heard by the international community. Even if their government may not be so supportive or encouraging, they may be able to lobby and work with other governments who have a similar cause or more sympathetic to their cause to help support their campaign for what they are trying to achieve. I believe that the forum is an opportunity for Indigenous people to be included. It's one of the very few places that Indigenous people's issues and thoughts are included. and actually get to sit at the table with state agencies, UN agencies, which is something different than, you know, most Indigenous groups back home don't get that opportunity to sit at that same table. It's normally your state agencies working together and just delivering the message down to the Indigenous people. They're not allowed at that level. So I, in my experience in this first week, have definitely see that the forum is an opportunity for Indigenous people to be included, and they're definitely given an equal opportunity to participate.